everybody! Oddimus Prime here, and welcome to a slightly different episode of our Primetime TV channel thing. It's not quite a rolling out, it's not quite anything normal. It's more of a State of the Union. What we're going to be doing over the coming months and having a little think and about how we're going to change things up as things are getting a bit hectic. How are you, Mr. Moff?
I'm very well. This is an interesting day as we're recording. I'm at the point of finishing, as you well know, a year-long transition of a garage into a usable kind of office space due to poor workmanship by somebody else. Anyway, so today I am hopefully on my last kind of day of recording in my toy room, and I can have my own wee office space to be able to do kind of more YouTube stuff and more prime time stuff and make my life a little bit easier. So I'm excited, but I think that's a good chance to kind of pause and reflect. As you said, I think back to the episodes where we covered the early 90s, and it was like, I remember sitting there and going, how are we filling 40 minutes? How are we filling 30 minutes? Now it's like, how are we staying under 4 hours? Because we're about to go into the movie phase, and it's exciting. Like, don't get wrong, I've thoroughly enjoyed the last few weeks where we've talked about the Unicron trilogy. I am definitely going to give you some cash at TFN Mini and say, go buy me some funky toys I've never experienced, and pick ones that I think that you think I'll really enjoy. So I've enjoyed them, but I am really looking forward to getting into the movie, getting into animated, getting into Prime, and I'm so excited. But come with that is oh my goodness, there is so much we could talk about. So I think it's right to have this kind of conversation and share that with our audience about what our plans are and how we're going to adapt to handle that. Hopefully handle it.
I mean, people don't really know, and it's not really anybody's business. But anyway, when we first started this, we were recording it on Zoom, and we were using a free account because we didn't think we would fill 40 minutes per episode. And as they've gone on, as you may have noticed in some of the videos, occasionally in the corner of the screen, you'll get me going, because we're running out of time on the recording. So anyway, we've now transitioned to actually paying real live money for Zoom. So now we actually have the time to waffle on. So you may have noticed our videos have got longer. So we're now having to self-edit rather than be constrained by the time. But that in itself leads to problems because, with the stuff that's coming up, we could talk for 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And yeah, lots of people, some people, about 15 people, maybe 20, do regularly watch and listen to the show every week, all the way through, which is lovely. And we really, really appreciate that. And some people just dip in and out. But, our viewership is it's getting there. We're quite happy with the direction it's heading in. But we don't want to start publishing 2.5, 3 hour long videos because that is a surefire way to lose subscribers and just have nobody watching anything we put out. So yes. So we've been thinking about how we can split this up, or how we can shorten it. We don't really want to go into less detail than we've been going, especially on the toy front. Some of the other stuff we've always sort of skirted over a little bit, but we figured that what we're going to do, starting with the 2007 episode, which we still haven't recorded yet, so don't get too excited, is that we're going to split the weeks up into 2 episodes and have an episode come out on the Sunday and have an episode come out on the Monday. And they'll be of differing lengths depending on how much stuff we've got to talk about in the way we're going to split them. What are your thoughts on this idea, Mr. Moff?
I think it's a great idea because, if you think of the state of the where the toys are now, this 2007 is where it kind of kicks off into, we've got some third party. We've talked about we wanted kind of hit into third party stuff. As prime time off, it feels right that I should talk about some third party toys. We have Masterpiece, we have Chug, we then have the toy lines for the cartoons, the toy lines for the movies. So I think it's right to kind of split them and give a little bit more focus. And I think, there'll be weeks where the Chug is dead exciting. I think of it, Reveal the Shield. We're going to some amazing toy lines. But there's also then some of the Hunt for the Decepticons from the movie stuff as well. There's
Yeah.
some really cool sublines that I think if we were to try and fit it all into just one episode, we would lose a bit of that fun out of it. But also, we also want to be able to talk a little bit about the cartoons and I hand on heart, I think animated is one of the best cartoons produced. I think
Definitely.
it's so enjoyable to go back and watch. I think Prime's incredible. To
Yeah.
not have time to chat through that would be crazy. So I think it's the right call. It puts a bit of pressure on us for how to think about how to split it, rather than just let's chat through it. But I think it'll be fun, and it'll be good for us to have that kind of difference, and be able to split it up. And as you say, it helps our audience to be able to, listen to it in chunks. Primetime Greg consistently listens, and he says that it's got a little bit longer, it's a bit more challenging because he's listening to it in chunks and it's taking longer
Yeah.
to listen to it. But I think it's the right call for kind of our audience, and we are going to. There'll be other things we'll try in the next coming months. We've really enjoyed I can speak for myself and I'm quite confident you feel the same. Really, really enjoyed the way we've done it so far. It's been really good.
Yeah.
The bit I keep telling people is, or more specifically, my wife asks me, why do you do the YouTube? And I said, because I get to hang about with one of my friends every single week and we talk Transformers. Like, it's one of the highlights of my week to just sit down and talk Transformers. And, our episodes are long, but we preamble and post-amble about the toy. It's not as if we're just talking toys. How many times afterwards we're sitting on eBay and looking and I'm going, oh no, I want that. Oh no, I want that. Oh, no. You're a bit more like, well, I've got all the primes. What else do I need?
It's funny when I say to my wife that I'm going to go upstairs and go and record a quick video with Moff. And she said, a quick video. I was like, yeah, I'll be about an hour. And she said, I'll see you at 9 then, when I've gone up at 3:30.
Yeah.
But yeah, uh, yeah, as you say, it's just been a lot of fun. A lot of fun chatting, a lot of fun going back over all of this stuff, remembering things and getting really, really reinterested in a lot of the bits and bobs that I've forgotten about. Because, it's no secret that I refocused my collection to Optimus Primes. And a lot of that was at the detriment of picking up other bits and picking up because, I wasn't going to the shop and going, oh, I'll grab that because I'm
Yeah.
only buying primes. But now it's made me think, oh, maybe I could have a shelf somewhere with sort of favorites from different lines rather than trying to be a completist, which I've
Yeah, I like that.
always done in the past. But just the odd thing. I mean, I picked up Masterpiece Skyfire,
Oh, so
but
good.
I got him because he comes with a little tiny Optimus, which is absolutely amazing. It's a really, really good posable little figure, which is lovely. But my intention was buy him, get the Optimus out, sell it 20 quid cheaper, done. But it's really nice.
It's a wonderful toy.
So that's getting kept. But yeah, so these are the sorts of conversations that we have and the things that carry on. And so anyway, focus. Um, so what I've been thinking is that the first episode of the two will be a general introduction of the year, what sort of things have been going on. So talking about what the releases are in terms of the media and stuff, the stuff that we normally have at the sort of the start of the episode. So an overview of the year and the things that we were interested in, the things that we weren't so interested in, etc. And then it'll probably be split into 3 or 4, depending on the year, different sections. So we'll have a section on Chug. So as we all know, Chug is the catch-all term for Transformers of a particular sort of scale and design and style that was
What's it stand for again? I can remember 3
classics,
classics.
Henkai,
Henkai
Universe, and
universe.
Generations.
Ah, yeah, yeah. So Chug's got a total different meaning in Scotland. Just a laugh every time, but anyway.
Yeah, but we won't go there. Um, yeah, so we'll talk about Chug, and I'll have an explanation as to what Chug is for those of people who don't know. A little bit like this, but slightly more informed. And we'll have like little logo sections between the sections just to sort of break things up a bit and make things a little bit more concise. So then we'll talk about. So sorry, we'll talk about Chug in the Chug section. So any figures that are of that ilk. There is sometimes a little bit of crossover between Chug and the movie line, like Hunt for the Decepticons and Reveal the Shield has a little bit of crossover. Reveal the Shield, unless I'm completely mistaken, had a few movie style bots within the range that also had people like Jazz, who was in uh, a G1 sort of style. So yeah, and then we'll also have a talk about the movie bots because I don't think we really go many years for the next stretch that there isn't at least a subline of movie
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
going on.
Oh yeah.
And that will morph into the different films as they come out, and also things like studio series. When that comes along, we'll probably shoehorn that into that section. But also, yeah, and then we'll also have a section, as you say, we need to start talking about third party because third party has just become a thing, and we would be silly not to mention the stuff. It's a little bit more tricky to find out what happened, what came out in a year, but we should be able to place what the main figures that came out around that time. Obviously, they're not really attached to any particular release at the time, so it's a little bit more tricky. But we'll do our best, and I really am looking forward to talking about a lot more third party stuff, and obviously. Moff is going to very much enjoy that. And finally, there'll be I'm going to currently call it other lines, but we'll see how that goes. But anything that doesn't fit into the other category, so not third party, not movie, not Chug. So that'll be things like I don't know the Buzzworthy Bumblebee, for example, or any of the lines like Robot Heroes or Rescue Bots. That sort of thing. Other things that we should mention, but probably don't fit into the other main
Yeah.
characters. And you know, occasionally we might add in another section if it's necessary. But yeah, that's sort of the way that we're going to be going. So we'll split that up roughly in half each week. So we'll have the intro and then one of the sections, and then we'll have the other two sections, and our bot of the year will be tagged on the end. So that's the plan, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Good, good. We also have a couple of other things that we're thinking, well, we are going to be doing. So the plan is moving forward that Sundays will be first part of rolling out. Mondays will be the second part of rolling out. Tuesdays will be talking robots with the wonderful Mr. Moff. And that will be, for the most part, done as shorts as opposed to normal videos because they're short. So that seems to fit that very specific format. And then Wednesdays and Thursdays will be when we'll publish any retro reviews or Prime Time with Oddimus or any other reviews that we've got kicking around. So sometimes we'll do things that don't really fit into either of those categories and we'll just have them as a PTTV review. So looking forward to doing more of those. Definitely want to get a bunch more of those done. And occasionally, you know, we might have some guest reviewers on, or Paddy keeps saying he's going to do some reviews, but yes, but tricky because obviously he does stuff for Fingers on Plastic, and we don't want to step on their toes because you know we like them. And then Friday is a day of rest. Saturday generally won't have anything released, and then we're back to Sunday again. However, we're also got other things going on monthly. So Moff's already started with his fantastic Talking Tunes series, which is a monthly series where, if you haven't already listened to it, it's audio only. So it's on the podcast, but it's also on YouTube, but as an audio only file. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, Talking Tunes is just a chance for me to sit over an evening. We record the 2 episodes of the month in an evening, and I bring a guest on. And in the first episode, we talk about kind of general tunes and toys from the 80s or 90s. And in the second one, the guest gets to pick a cartoon that we focus on. So in August. In our premiere episode, we had Pete from Transformers the Show, and he picked Spider-Man and X-Men. In this month's episode, which will be coming up shortly, we have Borders Dude, and we talk Visionaries. And then a world reveal we have for October, her Primetime Paddy. Paddy and I, I'm not going to reveal the cartoon for that one yet. That'll come out next month, but I'm really looking forward to that one. And it's a real joy just to kind of sit and shoot around kind of loads of things about the toys, cartoons, and it's great fun. So it is a good fun one to listen to. It's an easy one, it's just chatting about cartoons, like so easy. So yeah, that's a good fun one. That's one I enjoy. Well, I enjoy it all, but I enjoy the chance to talk about something that's not Transformers in a weird way.
Yeah. So those get published once a month on a particular date that we arbitrarily decide. The second episodes will be up probably in the next day or so. So go listen to those. And that's that. The next thing is a show that I'm quite excited about. I think it has the potential to be something really, really good. The issue is logistically trying to get it together at the moment. So the plan is there. Everything's sorted. I've got our guests all sorted. Everything is all good. We haven't quite found a time to record it. I was hoping to get this up around the same time as the 2007 episode, but that is looking a little less likely at this point, unfortunately. But anyway, it's primetime TV movie night until I can think of a better name. And so the idea is that each month, we're going to do it monthly-ish. We're going to have a sit down and we're going to watch a film. That won't be the video, don't worry, that's a bit boring watching people watching a film. So instead, what we'll do is we'll get together after we've seen it, and there'll be myself and Moff for the most part as hosts of the event. And then we're going to get a fan and a non-fan to come with us to watch the film and then have a bit of a chat about the film. We're going to have a quiz as part of each episode, and we're going to have a running tally of whether fans or non-fans are more knowledgeable about the thing, which I thought might be quite fun, if nothing else. So the first one we're going to do is the 2007 Transformers live action movie. We've got a guest, a friend of mine, Finn, who has never seen. Oh, sorry, tell a lie. They've seen one Transformers movie that I made them watch as part of our bad movie night, and that was Age of Extinction. But we're going back, and they've never seen the Transformers, the original Bayverse movies, so that'll be interesting. And currently, unless things don't work out, we've also got Andy from Transformers the Show in the first episode. So looking forward to that. That should be really, really good fun. And hopefully reasonably soon. But I've got a whole list of films I want to do. I want to basically stick to the sort of things that sort of fit with what we do otherwise. So films that are based on either comics or toy lines primarily. So I want to go with a bit of Masters of the Universe and a bit of G.I. Joe, and then a bit of
Care Bears a
Turtles.
movie.
Yes, no, I genuinely want to do Care Bears the movie. Like, I'm serious. I definitely want to do that.
I was a joke. I was a joke, but okay.
I think it would be really funny. Like Power Rangers, all that sort of stuff. So there's a huge amount of stuff that we could do.
Yeah.
So that would be I think quite fun. But we'll see. And I think that's about it. I was going to sort of touch on some of the things news-wise that had cropped up this week, only because I wanted to talk to Moff about that new Age Megatron. But
Age Megatron, for me, it's what third party started as. Think
Yes.
back to, I know we're going to be coming up to very, very soon chatting about the aspect of Fans Project City Commander, I think it was called,
Yeah,
the
State
bit
Command.
for Classics Ultra Magnus
Yeah.
that made them more like Ultra Magnus. So essentially, third party really starts with producing the stuff that fans wanted, and Hasbro weren't producing.
Hmm.
And listen, I understand why Hasbro are not going to produce a gun transformer Megatron. I understand 100%. I still get frustrated with the don't put it under Studio Series then. Studio Series might be a visual best reputation of the
Yeah,
movie,
yeah,
but
yeah.
put it under just Universe, it's fine. Like under Legacy, it's fine. Anyway, so we're not going to get it from them. So, you know, there was a bit of me was like, I hope somebody else comes out with a gun Megatron that kind of scales, because the Studio Series stuff is brilliant for giving you the almost perfect kind of chug scale versions of the toys. The Optimus Prime looks incredible.
Yeah.
So the fact that then, this New Age one was teased Thursday at first, then a little bit more teased on Friday, and then it's all like all the reviews went up, the comparison went up, and it's suddenly like whoa, 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 whoa. And I think it's releasing next month, like in time with, I know that I'm expecting Studio Series to Optimus to land probably end of this month, begin next month. So you're going to be able to get them within time each other, and that's incredible. And I'm not a big Legends collector, but I've got a few New Age, and their engineering's really good.
Mm.
Their finish is really good. That was the only bit that put me off a little bit at first, was the aspect I think it'll look a bit more polished than Optimus will. But then in
Yeah.
comparison shots, I don't feel that anymore. I'm like, actually, I think he's going to work really well. So no, I'm excited for it. I think it's been an incredible week for Transformers this week. Like,
Oh yeah.
you think of the things that have. I don't know if you've heard it, or the Triple Takeover team had Evan, designer, on, and he revealed that to do, and you'll appreciate this, to
Hmm.
do the 40th anniversary Optimus Prime, they had to rebuild the mold for the trailer. So the mold is lost, but they
Yeah.
rebuilt the mold to do it, and they're up for doing that for other releases, and that makes you go, oh, wait a minute, we're not just going to get with the same old, Insecticons, Blaster, Perceptor, things that we've already had. We are going to potentially get stuff that hasn't been seen in maybe 40 years. That's incredible.
that
And
that
then
is exciting.
to kind of go, well, let's just one up you. Let's do a Missing Link Sunstreaker, because the Sunstreaker mold is gone. That's not been seen. And then let's also tease the fact we're going to potentially do an RC. I can't think they're not going to do RC. They wouldn't have put that up surely if
Oh
they weren't
yeah.
confident RC is happening, right? So I know they've said we are looking into doing it, but the fact they've got a Missing Link G1 RC based on the foam prototype, that's astounding, and also makes you go, nothing's off the table.
I
We are
know
now
what
at a
you're
point
thinking.
where it's just Unicron. And listen, I'm not the only one. I saw a lot of people commenting on the fact that this could bring us a Unicron G1, which
Yeah.
I've heard people go, who would want that? I'm like, tell me a G1 collector who wouldn't, for the sheer amazing novelty value, buy that toy. Like, I think that would be hugely popular amongst so many people. And it's frightening to think that over the course of a week, and it's weird because PulseCon was very disappointing, but
Yeah.
actually we've also had some really big bits of news drop this week that just makes you go, this is a great time to be a collector in this fandom, and I cannot wait to see what comes next.
I was Friday night. I was at the Greenwich Comedy Festival, and I had my phone throughout, just checking on it because Hasbro PulseCon was on at the same time.
Yeah.
And every time I looked at my phone, I was like, oh,
Oh.
oh, that's just disappointing. It wasn't that any of the toys that are coming out are particularly bad or unexciting. No, unexciting is the right word. There was nothing massively exciting.
No,
It
there
was
wasn't.
just sort of stuff that we either knew was coming
Yeah.
or wasn't particularly
Just
amazing.
rebates.
There's no massive exclusives. There's no massive exclusives on sale. It was just a bit like, yeah. Um, but anyway, the rest of the stuff that's been sort of revealed this week has been actually pretty amazing. So exciting times. And I've just got my tickets to go and see Transformers 1 next Thursday. So maybe next weekend we could do.
All being well,
Ooh,
I'll be able to go see it as well. I just
yeah.
need to get permission.
So perhaps next week we might do another mini episode reactions to Transformers
Oh,
1.
I think that's more than appropriate to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll do that next week. So reactions to Transformers 1 next week, which gives us even more breathing room to 2007.
Yeah.
And then we'll rush through some things at some point. It's all fine. Everything's fine. We haven't, yeah, it's all good. Anyway, we've waffled on for far too long, and this is only supposed to be a quick video. And maybe you've carried on watching it, or maybe you've realized that we haven't got any exciting toy pictures or anything. I'll stick some toy pictures up of that Megatron over us talking. That would be nice. And maybe some other reveals. There could be a picture here. There might not be. Anyway, so if you have sat through all of this, thank you very much for watching. And sorry, this was just mostly waffle, but hopefully it'll get some interest in what's coming up in the near future. So thank you for watching, and thank you for being with me, Mr. Moff.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time. Bye!